Hello and welcome to a quick presentation on the AW139 Interactive Systems program that I've developed. I developed this program in Excel. Personally, I think it's a better medium to present this kind of presentation than PowerPoint. So what I have here is the home page. Down the bottom, these are all buttons for the hydraulic system, electrics, fuel, fire suppression and landing gear systems. And also I've incorporated a performance chart into Excel. I'll show you that a bit later. So I'll make a new video for each of the systems, starting with hydraulics. So you press on the button, it takes you to the hydraulics worksheet. Anyone who's flown the AW139 will be familiar with this schematic. It's a very good one. It shows where all the caution messages are indicated from throughout the system. The different pressure sensors and temperature sensors. It's a good one to know. Now I call it an interactive program because it is interactive. So if you press the electric pump button to on, this is what you should see on your hydraulic synoptic page. These caution messages are the messages that should still be visible in your CAS window. And you can turn the electric pump to off. Now for the flight mode, I've got a button up here called the normal ops on off button. You can see it's green at the moment, which indicates it's ready to be pressed. If you press it, it turns yellow, indicating it's active. It also activates the hydraulic system into the flight configuration. This is what it would look like on your HYD synoptic page, pending you didn't have any malfunctions or emergencies occurring within the system at that time. It also brings up the general information slides button, which if we press that will bring up a bunch of information arrows. Press on those, it takes you to some further information. Now none of this information here is my content. This is content that I've taken from the pilot training notes that any pilot gets given when they do the AW139 course. So I've just incorporated it in what I think is a better format. So you can click on any one of these information arrows. You can have as many information arrows as you'd like, obviously. And just to revise the different parts of the system. Now why I think this beats PowerPoint is you can go to these slides at any time, or any one you want. You don't have to follow the sequence. Now that really comes into play when you're 70 slides through the presentation and somebody wants to talk about something that happened on slide 20. And that can be very disruptive for the class to go out of the presentation view, find the appropriate slide, launch it again, discuss it, and then go back. It just disrupts the flow of the presentation. Whereas in Excel, you can go to any one of these at any time. I think it's very handy. Now you can go through the emergencies. Again, you can go through, you don't have to start at the top. You can do a number 2 high temp. Go back to the number 1 pump fail. So this is what you should see on your hydraulic synoptic page. These are, again, the CAS messages. You'll have an information arrow appear. You can read up about the number 1 pump failure. And whilst we're in this configuration, the shutter valve switch down here, which is normally gated by this this cover, works as it does in the aircraft. So I'm clicking on it at the moment and you'll see that it doesn't close because it's inhibited due to the number 1 pump fail. If you go back to the normal operating system, you'll see you can switch this switch off, therefore closing the number 2 shutter valve. Likewise with the number 1. 2 pump fail, another information arrow, I won't press on them all. 2 4 pump fail. Okay, number 1 leak. The leaks are a little bit different in that they're a sequential emergency. So if you just keep pressing on the button, it'll run through the sequence of the emergency. You can also click on the information arrow and read about what happens at the 50%, 28% and 22% hydraulic fluid levels. Number 2 leak. Number 1 high temp. So obviously when you get at number 1 high temp, the emergency procedure calls for shutting off the shutter valve to hopefully cool the system. We've done the number 2, filter bypass. Anyone who's flown the 139 will be familiar with that. And the number 1 and number 2 servos. Also demonstrates if you have a number 1 servo and you then get a number 2 high temperature, when you go to the 2 hide oil temp emergency procedure, you'll find this warning which essentially says not to shut off the number 2 side, because that would be catastrophic again for the aircraft. And same again with the number 1 side, you get a number 2 hide temp. Nope, sorry, you get a number 1 hide temp, and there's the same warning. Anyway, that's pretty cool. I hope you liked it. Next, I'll demonstrate the electric system. I've done it in 2 views, the Y diagram view and also the MFD view. It's a little bit more complex than the hydraulics, but I'll put a new video up when I do that. Hope you enjoyed this presentation. Feel free to leave any comments, whether good, bad, indifferent, down below. I'd like to get your feedback. Thank you very much.